If Jacob Fatu just absolutely decimated Roman Reigns on Raw, we need to talk about what this means for the entire Bloodline story going forward. Hey, welcome back to WWE Express, and please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now because we're breaking down one of the most pivotal moments in modern WWE storytelling, and you don't want to miss our analysis of where this leads next. Jacob Fatu destroying Roman Reigns isn't just a physical assault on the most dominant figure in WWE. It's a watershed moment that fundamentally reshapes the power dynamics of an entire faction. Think about what we've witnessed over the past several weeks. Roman Reigns stands as the tribal chief, the undisputed head of the bloodline, controlling everything from backstage decisions to in-ring momentum. Obafemi has been circling, challenging Paul Heyman's allegiance, and now Jacob Fatu, the monster, the enforcer, the unpredictable force, has taken matters into his own hands with devastating consequences. What makes this moment so narratively compelling is the psychological angle beneath the surface. Jacob Fatu has always operated as Roman's instrument of destruction, but there's been a simmering question: for how long? At what point does a weapon decide it no longer needs a handler? The beating that just transpired answers that question in the most definitive way possible. Fatu isn't expressing frustration. He's not staging a protest. He's announcing a declaration of independence through sheer physicality, and Roman Reigns felt every bit of it. The beauty of professional wrestling as a storytelling medium is how it conveys narrative through action. Words are secondary when you can show dominance, vulnerability, and transformation through what happens inside that ring. Jacob Fatu's destruction of Roman Reigns communicates several critical plot points simultaneously. First, it establishes Fatu as a credible threat independent of the bloodline hierarchy. Second, it questions Roman's invincibility, a status he's maintained through careful management and superior positioning. Third, it opens an immediate storyline vacuum. If Roman isn't in control, who is? The answer to that question will drive Raw programming for weeks to come. Consider the ripple effects cascading outward from this moment. Paul Heyman now faces a genuine crisis of loyalty and survival. The tribal advisor has always been the architect of power, the voice whispering strategy into Roman's ear, but how does that relationship function when Roman is dealing with legitimate physical and psychological trauma? Obafemi watches this unfold with absolute clarity. The throne he's been circling is now undefended in real time. Braun Breaker, positioned as the new generation of bloodline dominance, sees a road opening that didn't exist moments before. The entire faction becomes a powder keg of competing interests, each member calculating their next move while Roman recovers from the assault. From a creative standpoint, this destruction serves multiple narrative purposes simultaneously, which is the hallmark of excellent wrestling storytelling. It's a surprise turn that recontextualizes recent events. That ambush Fatu participated in weeks ago takes on new meaning now. Was he following orders, or was he testing boundaries? Every interaction between Fatu and Roman now has added weight, and fans will rewatch those moments with fresh perspective. The moment also provides a palatable reason for Roman to step back from active competition while real-world circumstances require it, but it does so in a way that protects his credibility. He wasn't simply beaten by a peer. He was blindsided and overwhelmed by an increasingly unpredictable monster that he may have created. The storytelling brilliance extends to what happens next. Raw has dozens of directions available suddenly. Will Roman seek immediate revenge, or will he strategically rebuild? Will the bloodline fracture entirely, or will Roman attempt to reassert control? How do other Raw factions respond to sudden vulnerability at the top of the card? Do Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes see an opportunity? Does CM Punk position himself differently knowing that Roman might be occupied with internal faction warfare? Wrestling's best stories operate on multiple levels, and this destruction of Roman Reigns absolutely creates that complexity. Jacob Fatu's character arc becomes fascinating to observe going forward. He spent his entire WWE tenure as an instrument, but tonight he claimed agency. He demonstrated that even the seemingly most controlled element of a system can choose its own path. That's not just a wrestling moment. That's a fundamental character transformation with dramatic weight. Fatu went from being a tool to being a force of nature acting independently. The question wrestling fans should be asking is whether he's acting alone or whether Obafemi orchestrated this moment. That uncertainty is valuable storytelling currency. Let's also acknowledge the pure physical spectacle of what this moment represents. Wrestling fans come to see athletic demonstration, and Jacob Fatu destroying Roman Reigns absolutely delivers that. The image of Roman Reigns overwhelmed, battered, and forced to retreat is striking precisely because it contradicts everything we've seen from him for extended periods. Narrative contrast creates emotional impact. When you've established dominance, vulnerability becomes that much more powerful. Fatu's destruction accomplishes what words never could. It transforms the entire landscape through decisive action. The timeline matters too. This happens on Raw, the flagship show, in front of the live crowd. There's no ambiguity, no debate about what occurred. Everyone saw Jacob Fatu absolutely destroy Roman Reigns. That clarity of storytelling purpose is crucial. Wrestling at its best communicates narrative points with absolute clarity, and this moment does exactly that. The bloodline hierarchy has shifted fundamentally, and everyone in the locker room knows it. As we head into the following weeks of programming, watch how WWE follows up on this seismic event. The bloodline's internal structure becomes the story. Who rises? Who falls? What emerges from the chaos? These are the questions Jacob Fatu's destruction has created, and they'll drive narrative momentum across Raw for weeks to come. That's the mark of a truly significant wrestling moment, not just what happens, but what it makes possible afterward. Thank you so much for joining us here at WWE Express for this breakdown of Jacob Fatu's destruction of Roman Reigns and what it means for the broader bloodline narrative. If you love this analysis and want more deep dives into WWE's most compelling storylines and character moments, please subscribe to WWE Express right now. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment telling us what you think happens next with the bloodline, and we'll see you next time when we break down the next chapter of this incredible story. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you soon on WWE Express.